Hello, boys and girls. This is your old friend, the Dreamfinder, here to set off on another grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom.
The Disneyland Limited, now leaving for a grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom. All passengers board.
Star Tours announces the boarding of the Endor Express. All passengers, please prepare for immediate boarding.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. To those guests who've just joined us, welcome. For those of you standing, please hold on to the handrails throughout our journey and stay clear of the door.
Please keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the train and remain seated at all times. Now then, hang on to them hats and glasses, because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
I am Sam, the American Eagle, and I am proud to introduce the Grand Circle Tour podcast, a celebration of Disney parks, but mostly the American ones. I really like these guys.
Aloha, passengers. Welcome back to the Grand Circle Tour. Jungle Skipper Jay here, and we are going to have some fun tonight. I've got two of my favorite co-hosts. Well, they're all my favorites. We have Carolyn. Carolyn, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, and you guys are my favorites too.
The production booth, I'm getting a no finger from George. And we have Dan. Dan, how are you doing tonight?
Jay, what is going on? And ironically, you are both of my favorite also.
Woohoo! I like that everyone is everyone's favorite.
Everyone is everyone's favorite.
Right. It's a big love fest.
Just hope that none of the other hosts are listening, right?
Hey, we love them too.
We do.
It's all about love here.
Yeah.
Waltz up, you guys.
I have a great waltz up because I'm very excited. You guys ready?
Yes.
About 5 hours ago, I booked my first Disney cruise. Woo!
Woo! That's very exciting.
I'm so not jealous at all.
Caroline and George, they have talked me into it. They talk about it every week on the podcast. I am not a cruiser. I've never been on a cruise, period, let alone a Disney cruise. So I am very excited. We booked Alaska for next year. The cruises just came out, I guess, a couple weeks ago for next year. So we booked nice and early because that's the recommendations I got from you guys.
That's it, baby. That's it. Book early. Save some money.
Yep.
Well, I have a double waltz up tonight. I want to plug our friends over at the Mouse in Our House. I was on episode 94, which was dining at Disney for $40 a day, and that just came out. So if you want to hear me and Monica and Manny together,
awesome.
Go listen. My other waltz up is, of course, it's going to be music.
Of course it is.
I was looking at the vinyl record reviews of doing monthly, and I'm going to add Sleeping Beauty in there.
Ooh.
I thought, you know what? What would be better than Sleeping Beauty versus Sleeping Beauty? So I got to order both the vinyl record and the Legacy Collection 2 CD set today. And well, hopefully they'll be here soon.
And where did you order that?
DisneyMusicEmporium.com.
Oh, okay.
If they would love to sponsor us,
we would allow that?
Yeah, we would.
We would make it to DisneyMusicEmporium.com's Grand Circle Tour podcast.
All right.
You just have to pay in vinyls to Jay.
Yeah, you just send me all the vinyls you make. So, funny story is, a little behind the scenes for the passengers is, like when it's my turn to host on a Sunday, I try to have everything out by Tuesday. Like, here's what we're going to talk about. Here's our messenger group. Let's go back and forth. I couldn't come up with one this week.
Well, that's really selling this show.
You hit the year mark, and it's like, all right, all my ideas are out.
I'm done.
It's kind of what it felt like. I couldn't come up with anything. I was having just, busy work week. It's Friday afternoon. I'm looking around my office, and I've got this poster from the Disneyland After Dark 1962 episode that they sent overseas with Louis Armstrong and Annette. And I looked at that, and I went, that's my episode. We're doing Disney After Dark.
Well, when you sent it to me, I was like,
That sounds dirty.
Idea. How long have you been thinking about this? And you're like, I just came up with it.
I was like, I just now came up with it. I'm usually way more on top of it.
Yeah.
Disney After Dark sounds dirty, though. I'm just telling you.
Aww.
I mean, is it going to be a dirty episode?
I wash my hands and take hand sanitizer to the parks. I'm very into hand sanitization at the Disney parks. Now, I thought what we talk about is, like, what is your perfect evening at Disney once the sun goes down? Because we all know once twilight hits and the lights start to come on and the sun starts to fall, Disney is at its best. So what is your evening at the Walt Disney World Resort? Like, what do you do in the parks? And then what do you do after? Do you like to go to resort, Disney Springs? Carolyn, let's start with you.
Okay, I really like Disney World at night, and am I allowed to stay in the park?
Yeah, no, you can go anywhere. You can go anywhere you want.
I love the park. I love the parks at night. I think they're beautiful, and it's I don't know. It's very. I find it very peaceful, even if it's really crowded. But okay, let's just say I'm going to leave the park. One of my favorite things to do is go over to the Polynesian and sit on one of the lounge chairs, and you can hear the music for the what's the water pageant. You can all the music that's the water pageant. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That music is all. You can hear it from the speakers. You can just sit in the lounge chair, grab a beverage, and sit there and watch the show. And then the fireworks, you can also hear all of that music and that story when the fireworks are going off, and you don't have to be there with a crowd of people, but you can still see. So that is one of my favorite things to do.
Man, you are so close to one of mine that I'm not sure if I should disqualify you.
Oh no! We're getting scored again.
No. Although, Dan, do you want to score this one?
If I have to score that, I'd give Caroline 1,000 points for that one, because that sounds like an awesome.
I don't know, guys. What do you think? Do you think the passengers would like a surprise Dan scoring?
Too.
Let's do it.
All right, 1,000 points to Caroline.
Thank you. Woo woo.
And I'll be muting Caroline from here.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, Dan, what about you? What do you like at a nice Magic Kingdom evening?
Okay, so I'm going to start with just saying a few things that have changed in my life, and mainly that's two boys. Because before kids, it was a lot more of the after dark stuff. But the last couple trips, I'll be honest with you, I haven't been able to do much of it. But after dark is my favorite time at Disney. And I like to do different things depending on how the days go. Sometimes I like to stay in the parks. Sometimes I like to hang out in whatever resort I'm in. Sometimes I like to go to Disney Springs and a bunch of other things. So I'm just going to rattle off a few things here. Probably my most favorite thing to do in park is to ride the People Mover with a bag of popcorn and nice cold water or soda or something, and just hang out and lounge and people watch. And like Caroline, I think you said before, there's just something peaceful about the Magic Kingdom at night, even if it's got 1 million people there.
Yes, absolutely.
That's what I will start with that one.
Dan, give yourself 1,000 points.
2,000 points for me.
You know, Magic Kingdom for me at night, there are just a handful of attractions that just are better at night. So things like the Astro Orbiter, Big Thunder, the Haunted Mansion, the Liberty Bell, and of course, the world famous Jungle Cruise.
You like the Jungle Cruise at night better?
Yes.
I've never done the Jungle Cruise at night, to be honest.
I haven't either.
Really? It takes on an entire, it's a totally different ride.
Wow.
Suddenly the jungle is a little more
scary.
Yeah, suddenly you're in the dark in the jungle.
I can imagine. I mean, Big Thunder Mountain is like, I think, 10 times better at night than it is in the daytime. Not that it's bad in the daytime. But like that's an attraction. Yeah, and Splash Mountain too. I love Splash Mountain when you are just about to do the drop and you can see the castle. Oh, it's so awesome.
I'm with you 100%. Yeah, let's give us 1,000 points for that, for loving that.
I'm with you all the way, except for Splash Mountain.
Oh,
At
that's
night,
right. You
the
don't
last
like
thing I want is wet shorts.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. But if you do
we all know the chafing that comes from Splash Mountain.
But if you do it, if it's the last attraction you're going to do, and then you're going right back to your hotel, then you could do a quick change. That's how I do it.
Okay, so real quick, before I finish my evening, what is your guys' last attraction of the day at the Magic Kingdom?
Ooh, well, I just told you, it's probably Splash Mountain. But if I don't want to get wet, does it have to be,
it could be.
Mine's the People Mover, I guess.
Yeah, I love the People Mover at night, but I don't know. I don't know if I have one that I always go to. Last thing.
Yeah. It's more like what do you need to fit in the schedule?
Yeah, right.
You know?
I hear you guys, but for me, Disneyland, Magic Kingdom, it will always be Haunted Mansion on the way out.
Really?
Yeah. It's the
No,
first,
why? Because it's dark in there.
It's my favorite one.
Oh,
I
that's the
love
reason.
the mansion. So it's the first thing as I go in and the last thing as I come out.
You do Haunted Mansion first?
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Wow, Jay.
That's how much I love the mansion.
You do.
Hey, I got a question for you guys. What's your strategy of exiting the Magic Kingdom after either, what was Wishes or now Happily Ever After? You guys hang out? Do you rush for the door? Do you watch it from the gates like some people do?
I usually either hang out or leave before I just hate that mass rush at the end. It's just, I find it so unpleasant.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I try to be one of the last people out because let the crowd go ahead of me.
Yeah.
Let the wait to the TTC die down a little bit before I leave.
Yeah.
Plus, I get to do that last little bit of shopping, to kiss goodnight.
Yeah. I had a really bad experience this past summer. I think I may have talked about it on the show once before, but I was just with Connor. Everyone else went back to the room because everyone's a party pooper except the two of us. And we hung out afterwards. We went to the bakery. We had a nice cinnamon roll, hung out on Main Street. And it was a good, half hour, 45 minutes. We went back. We had drove, so we had to go back to the parking lot. And we took the ferry. And we got corralled in the ferry line for what seemed to be it was like 90 minutes just sitting there. Connor, who at the time was 6, just basically fell asleep in my arms. But he's too big to carry, so he's just like a sack of potatoes, carrying around. And there was one point where I was legitimately scared because I couldn't pick him up and people were trampling us, and I don't know, just really turned me off. And everyone online was just bashing Disney. And, as a huge Disney fan, it made me really uncomfortable,
Wait, you went where did you, no, I don't want to promote being negative.
Yeah.
But so that's horrible.
Yeah, I don't know if there was something wrong with the ferry, but once you get online for that ferry to go over to the TTC, and I should have took the monorail, but I just said, hey, whatever, we'll take the boat.
Right. It's usually not going to be an issue.
Yeah, but once you get online, you cannot get out of that thing. You're in there, and they're not letting you out. It was really bad.
How hot did it get in that time?
Oh, it was terrible. We were crammed together. I thought there was going to be a riot, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
But I get the whole being afraid of that because that's the whole reason I stopped going to things like SDCC, San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Because you are unsafe with that many people. If something goes down.
Yep. See, and I'm good with it because I do New York Comic-Con every year. And so, I'm okay with crowds. But it's when you have a sleeping 6-year-old that is basically in another world. I don't know if anyone has kids out there, you know how they are when they're that asleep. They're just not moving. And is like everyone lose all consideration for others. It's like survival of the fittest,
Right.
It's really bad, but.
Right.
Okay, I hate to ask this question. All those people leaving Magic Kingdom at the end of the day in the heat in Florida, how bad did that mosh pit stink?
Everyone stinks. I feel that way when I'm sitting for any of the fireworks too. Like no matter what park, everybody's like oh, everyone's.
You feel like it stinks?
Yeah, like everyone's been sweating all day, and now we're like aren't touching arms, and it's gross.
That special.
That's why you go over to the Grand Floridian or the Polynesian and sit in one of those lounge chairs and get away from all those people. Oh my goodness,
that's the best answer.
That's why people that hate Disney. People that that you roll your eyes and like, oh, Disney, blah.
Yeah,
that's why it's stuff like that.
You're right.
Yeah. There is
Apparently Disney doesn't care. They're cashing checks, so it doesn't.
I don't know. I have that. I have that candle that smells like Pirates of the Caribbean in my office. Like, if they come out with like a end of the day Disney Musk.
Wait, do you have a candle that smells like mildew or what?
Yes, it's wonderful. It smells just like the pirate water.
No, is that a real thing, or are you making a joke?
No, it's a real thing. I'll show it to you.
Yeah. They sell all scents, right? I mean, there's like
a Polynesian, a Mansion. I can't believe I'm gonna put this on the internet for everyone to hear, but when I put that Pirates of the Caribbean vinyl record on to preview it, it's a pirate candle.
Does it smell like mildew?
It smells like bromine.
It's called Magic Candle Company. Anyone out there?
Don't plug. They're not giving us money. Don't plug them.
Well, maybe they'll plug it. Maybe by the end of the show,
Google search Pirate of the Caribbean candle.
We're gonna get free vinyl records and free candles by the end of the show.
You know what? I'd be fine with that. Disney, I want that $150 Star Wars The New Hope set. You can just send one to all 8 of us.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have to send one to me. I'm the only one who doesn't watch the Star Wars stuff. You can just write me a check.
just take yours and put it on eBay.
Yeah, right.
Right. Exactly. We'll raise money for a charity.
Hey, my charity is me.
Yeah, right.
So what I've done, I was quite the detour.
Getting to know us, right?
So this is why it's a love fest. We just have a good time when we get on. Doesn't matter who's here. We just have a great time.
That's right.
But Carol, I'm with you. I like to go over to the Polynesian at the end of the day. I want everyone to go so the boat isn't crowded.
Yes.
And try to have as few people on that boat across the lake. And I want to hit Trader Sam's at the end of the day. Take my drink,
brother.
Sit over on the beach and just listen to the water and look across to the Magic Kingdom.
One of the things I did this last trip, like I said, I was with my son, so I wasn't able to stay out too late. But I got Garden Grocer to deliver some groceries, and along with that, they gave me some adult beverages that was delivered to my room. And then just sitting outside on the balcony, and in this particular trip, I stayed at Saratoga, but you just you hear all the families coming home. And they're all just talking about their day and, kind of eavesdropping a little bit, but you could just hear them as they walk past. Something cool to hear, everyone recapping their day as you hang out on the balcony.
That's a really nice sound. That's a really nice sound. It is. That's really special that you mentioned that. That's a very nice sound.
Yeah, it's nice to be plugged into that collective experience. So what about Epcot for you guys? Do you have any Epcot evening likes?
So
I love to be last out. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No problem. Usually when I'm at Epcot at night, that means I'm probably having an alcoholic beverage in my hand, being honest with you. And Epcot's the place where I try to stay the latest. I usually get kicked out of Epcot.
What's the latest you've ever stayed at Epcot?
I think so. I was there a couple summers ago, and actually it was a long time. It was before I had kids, and I was there with another couple who I work with, and they just happened to be there at the same time. So we just met up, And we ended up in Morocco. They kicked us out of Morocco. Probably, I think Epcot closed at midnight. They kicked us out of Morocco around 12:30. We went over to the American Pavilion, and for some reason, they were still selling alcohol. So we went into that little like quick service. I don't know what it's called, the quick service place in American Pavilion. It's not even. It's like it's like gross. A cafeteria. Yeah, it's gross, right? It's like a cafeteria. But they did have alcohol there, so we sat there, and then the cleaning crew came around, and they put the chairs upside down on the tables.
Yeah.
As like get the hell out of here. Yeah.
Except our table. The four of us just sat there.
Oh my gosh.
And then probably like 1:15, one of the cast members politely comes over and says, "Oh, you guys almost done? Because we're trying to close up shop." All right.
Wait, you were there 1:15, and it closed at what time? 9?
No. Closed at midnight. So it was.
Dude, that's amazing guest service, because I would have kicked you out.
Well, they were cleaning, and they weren't ready to leave. I think as soon as they were like ready to get out of the building, that's when they came, and they were like, okay. But then we took our sweet time walking. We had to think about it. We were at America, so we're the furthest spot probably in the park from the main beats. So we took our time, and there was I think I saw like another like 4 people in the park.
Those cast members just want to go home to their families at that point.
Yeah, they just want to go to bed,
What about you, Carolyn?
My favorite thing to do is I've never been until 1 a.m. I like to slowly stroll out after illuminations. And one of my favorite things, this is kind of sound weird, but I love the sidewalk in Future World. Do you know what I'm talking about? How it lights up?
Yeah, like sparkles. Yeah.
The sparkles. I don't know. I love those sparkles. I love those sparkles. But yeah, I would, before I get to the sparkles, I would be, just sort of taking it. I just like to be there at night when everybody's kind of gone, and are most people, and just take it all in. And I just sort of like to enjoy the fantasy of what I like it to be in my head. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, I totally get that. I've been in the park before hours and after hours when it's empty, the lights are on, the music's on. It's like this is your own personal Disneyland.
Yeah.
And it's a magical feeling. It really is.
It is. It's a really special feeling. And somebody that isn't a Disney person, well, they probably aren't listening to this podcast anyway. So, but if you're a Disney person, I mean, I know you get it. It's sort of all encompassing. You just sort of let all the senses, take over your body, really.
But if there is that one person that's not a Disney fan that's listening, continue to listen. We love you. Welcome.
Yes, exactly. We want you to love Disney, so we're going to help you. To us. Yeah, we're going to help you. I would love the eye rollers and the people that don't love Disney to like Disney. So,
of course.
Anyway,
I was just thinking about this, and I told up until we're sitting here chit chatting, I totally forgot about the story. But about 10 years ago, I was walking back to Port Orleans French Quarters. It wasn't that late. It was probably like 10 o'clock. And I noticed all guests were sitting on their balcony, like looking up into the sky. I said to my wife, and I was like, I don't know what's going on here. And there was actually a shuttle launch going on.
Oh, yeah. Oh. That's so cool when that happened.
Yeah, and I had no clue, but everyone was staring in the sky. I asked someone, like, oh, yeah, there's going to be a shuttle launch soon. So we all hung out, and my balcony was facing the other way, so I hung out in a little garden area in front of our building, and all the guests were out there. We all had like a little picnic at like 10 o'clock at night and watched a shuttle launch. That was pretty cool.
That's rad. I'm going to finish up my Epcot. We'll move on. I hate to admit this. Haven't done it yet, but I can already tell my new closing tradition for Epcot will be hitting Frozen the ride on the way out.
Really? Why that?
Really? Why that?
I don't know. It just looks like a fun ride. It looks like a great way to end the day.
Have you been on it?
No, it just looks like a lot of fun.
Okay. I won't say anything then.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm not going to. No, you go on Frozen last of the day. You do that.
You know, it just looks like a lot of fun to end the day. And let's face it, Epcot isn't the good Epcot anymore, or my last ride would be Horizons.
Well, you know, you're going to have to. The problem if you do Frozen is you're going to have to get in line for pretty early. That line's pretty long still.
Well, see, that's the secret to staying in a Disney park longer. If you get in line 1 minute before the park closes, they have to let you
those poor
all
workers.
the way through the line. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So Dan, I may try making Frozen my last ride just to see how late I can stay if I can beat your record.
I bet you can. I bet you can now.
Oh yeah.
But if I'm not there till 4 a.m, because that's when Frozen ends, I want to hop over to the boardwalk after Epcot.
Yes. And where are you going to go?
You know, I don't know.
Jelly rolls.
Maybe. You know what? I think after a long day at Epcot, I'm going to want to, especially walking at Epcot, I'm not going to want to continue to keep walking along the boardwalk. I'm going to want to get something and probably sit along the water.
Yeah, it's so nice over there. I'm a big Jelly Rolls fan, so I love going there, hanging out, and then taking a nice stroll on the boardwalk, back to one of the hotels.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it over there. I love to stay at the yacht club. I like to stay at all of them. I'll stay at any of them. I stay over there. I spend most of my trip in World Showcase, and I don't have a specific. I have nothing specific because I love the whole area, and I'm happy any place over in the boardwalk area.
Have either of you been to Abracadabra yet?
No, but it's on my list. Have you been there, Jeff?
Where is it?
It's the new Magic Bar over at the boardwalk.
Yeah, it's a magic theme.
Oh, where did they put it?
On the boardwalk?
Beforehand.
Is it at the? Is it at the hotel?
I don't. Hold on, I'm gonna Google it. You guys keep chit chatting while I Google it. How would one spell abracadabra?
ABRADABAR. There's an outtake.
Right.
Yeah, really.
Oh.
I love to stay at the yacht club. Honestly, if I'm going to stay club level, then I'm going to go back to the lounge, enjoy the amenities there. Is what I'm going to do. And
how is that lounge? Sorry.
It's great. They have redone it recently, and it's really, I really like it. It's crazy expensive, but I really enjoy it. Oh, because one thing you can do is go sit by the pool over at the Yacht and Beach Club. That's really relaxing as well.
You can sit by the pool.
You have to be staying there.
Guest? Okay, that was my question. If you're not a guest, you can't.
No, you got to have they police it.
Have you stayed at the boardwalk?
I've stayed at all of them.
How is the boardwalk? Because that's high on my list of when I do stay on property, I want to stay there. Hotels.
Yeah, I love the boardwalk. I probably would pick the yacht. I would pick probably Yacht Club over the boardwalk. But I love the boardwalk. I love it. I love that area. It's I don't know if it's my favorite area, but yeah, it's probably my favorite area.
I think it's like criminally underrated because it's such a great setting, the boardwalk.
It is. It's fantastic. And you have ease to get to Hollywood Studios and to get over to Epcot, and the walk over there it's a little less, if you're going with kids, it's fine. I mean, it's great. Everywhere is great if you're going with kids. If you're not going with kids, it's even better because there are a lot of business meetings over there. You know what I'm talking about? Like where Disney rents a space to corporations or whatever to have their meetings there. So it's a little more adult than some of the other resorts. So if you're trying to maybe get away from kids, that's probably a better place to stay than the Contemporary or the Grand Floridian or something like that.
Yeah.
That's good advice. I mean, especially because I travel without kids, so I would rather go hang out with the grown-ups.
Right.
Have you guys ever done the movies at nighttime at any of the hotels?
Mm-mm.
I've walked past them.
It's really cute. It's I can understand as an adult without kids, it's a little weird, but I don't know. I think it's pretty awesome. I've actually saw I think it was the first Wreck-It Ralph, the first Wreck-It Ralph. The first time I ever saw it was on one of those movie Under the Stars.
Is it mostly like current movies, or do they go through the back catalog?
Yeah, they go through the catalog. Every night it's something different. Usually there's a calendar somewhere.
You know, if I didn't have kids with me, based on the movie, I would go see it. I would sit down and watch. At least watch part of the movie, because I'd probably have that one at home.
Yeah.
So my favorite park at night next to the Magic Kingdom is the studios. Dan, how do you like to end the day at the studios?
Usually, I'll be honest with you. Usually the studios is a morning park for me. And now it's a half-day park. It maybe even be a quarter.
For sure.
So there's not too, unless I'm watching Fantasmic, there's not too many times where I'm staying late at Hollywood Studios. But I would probably say that if I had to pick something to do as my last attraction, it would without a doubt be Tower of Terror.
Right on.
I'm in 100% agreement with everything you just said.
Yeah.
You know, I love the studios because of the Tower of Terror. I could probably skip everything else and just ride that all day.
Really?
Yep. The studios is a full day park only because of the Tower of Terror. Because I'll get on it and do it all day and skip everything else. And I will be the last one out of that park, and I will, look at the tower and say goodbye till next time. But then I'm going to hop over to Disney Springs, and I'm going to spend the rest of my night at the Edison.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I want the candy bacon on a string and some burlesque and a nice old-fashioned. And that is the end of my studios day.
So
they have burlesque at Disney?
Yes, at the Edison. After 10 o'clock, the kids have to leave, and they have, because burlesque is clean. It's just cheesecake.
I know.
Yeah, but they have a full burlesque act over at the Edison.
Oh, cool.
Which makes it my number one spot at Disney Springs.
So the passengers have been listening for a while. You probably know that Disney Springs is my favorite part of all of Disney.
Get out of town. Disney Springs is your favorite part of all of Disney? Is that what you just said?
It is.
And that's the truth?
It's the truth. I love it.
Oh, my goodness.
And we're actually thinking about doing a trip where we do not do any parks and just hang out at Disney Springs. And
what are you going to do?
Okay, I'm going to put the spotlight on you, Dan.
Yeah.
Give us an evening at Disney Springs.
Oh man, this is just one place. Oh my God, what am I gonna pick? My favorite bar at Disney Springs is Jock Lindsay's. Have you guys been there?
Not yet.
Hangar Bar?
No.
Oh my goodness! If you guys are Adventurers Club fans back in the day,
yes.
All right. If you are an Adventurers Club fan, go to Jock Lindsay. Do you guys know what Jock Lindsay is? It's the Indiana Jones. He was Indiana Jones's, pilot or something in one of the movies.
Yeah, he's the guy at the very beginning of the first one that flies him out of the.
Yeah, and then that's the end of him, right?
Yeah.
And then Disney goes ahead and makes a whole story about it. So it's Jock Lindsay. It's a Indiana Jones theme bar, but they have all different props that they took over from the Adventurers Club, and they're all on the top. Like they have a little loft area all on the top, and you can see the old props from the Adventurers Club. It's so cool.
And can you recognize them, or if they repainted them?
If you're a fan, you'll be able to recognize them. Or a quick Google search will be able to tell you what to look for. But for someone like me who truly misses the Adventurers Club, and I just wish that they would do something like that again. Going to the Jock Lindsay's bar is the closest things we got. And the bartenders get into character. They'll tell you the stories about Indiana Jones and Jock Lindsay and blah, blah, blah. And the drinks are just amazing. They're so good. They have all these different types of drinks and all these different glasses and, very similar to, I guess, Polynesian, but more in the Indiana Jones theme. So that's my favorite place. If I had to choose just one. I just like walking around, though, the Springs at night and just doing shopping at night. The music, the bands that play, have a couple cocktails. That's like my perfect night.
Now, you say the bands that play back home at Downtown Disney, they get like local artists to come in and just kind of play around downtown.
Yeah,
Is it
that's
the same thing?
exactly right. And they had the little. I don't know if you guys ever saw the little moving piano. You want to see that?
Yeah.
The piano that moves around. Really like talented people too. I love Disney Springs. That's why I always stay at Saratoga, because I could just walk right home.
How far is that walk?
It's not far at all. So it's they added the when they redid Disney Springs, they added the footbridge, and the footbridge is over by where the Christmas store is and the Goofy Candy Company, I think it's called. It's over on that side, and the bridge just goes right over. I mean, it's, I don't know, a couple minutes maybe. The only problem is if on the Saratoga side, Saratoga is such a large resort that you have to get a room near the footbridge. Otherwise, it's another like 45-minute walk if you're on the other side of Saratoga.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it'd be better to just Uber.
Yeah. Or you could hop on the bus, and that will literally take you from one side of Saratoga to the other. And a lot of people that stay at Saratoga will actually drive to the parking lot that's closest to the footbridge and leave their car in the resort, but just in a different parking lot.
Oh, wow.
Now Disney charged for parking, though.
No, I'm saying if you are staying in Saratoga.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
What they'll do is they'll actually drive to just another parking lot in Saratoga that's near the footbridge.
Oh, gotcha.
Not that I've ever done that.
So let me ask both you guys real quick. In the evening, do you have is there a part of Disney Springs that's better than the other, like the marketplace, town center, the landing? Is there an area you'd rather be when the sun goes down?
I like to be right in the middle, like where like Boathouse is, like around that area.
I love the Boathouse. That's where I mostly go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to our final park, the Animal Kingdom, which I really haven't had a chance to do at night yet, so I'm going to be leeching off you guys for an experience.
I'll leech off.
We're leeching off you. I'm leeching off you guys because I don't either.
Well, hello, passengers. I am back again.
George, where did you come from? Hey, George.
You don't have a story. I have one.
Holy moly! There's more people on this podcast.
George for the win.
Hey, you guys already took a detour. We might as well get derailed off this one. So, with my 2 cents of Animal Kingdom at night is, especially with Pandora, it's hard to actually put into words of actually what it looks like at night with the bioluminescent forest and looking at the floating mountains with the water streaming down off of it. That in itself is an attraction. Aside from doing Flight of Passage or the Navi River journey, just walking around Pandora at night, hearing the sounds of the planet itself, and it's breathtaking, in my opinion. And then, of course, if I get the chance to, I love doing, just like how I love doing Tower of Terror at night, I love doing Expedition Everest at night because I'm a thrill junkie.
So would that be your last ride of the night before you leave?
Expedition Everest, that's usually, I try to let that be my last ride. I remember when I did Animal Kingdom for their extra magic hours, it was practically dead at the end of the night, where I went on Expedition Everest 13 times in a row. Now, at the time, I was by myself, so I did the single rider. So I did it 13 times in a row. And that was before the Disco Yeti, too. So.
Oh, you're trying to age yourself here.
Yeah.
No, I hear you, man. If I could do, well, I've said it a million times at this point, I would do Tower of Terror 13 times in a row. I feel you, my brother.
Well, I'll let you guys get back. It was nice.
Good night, George.
Say good night, George.
Get back in the booth.
Good night.
Well, thank you, George. Well, there's something I want to try. at the Animal Kingdom. Well, actually, the Animal Kingdom Lodge, once the day is done there. I want to head over to the lodge and try the night safari at 10 p.m.
Oh, yeah. That's something I've always wanted to do also.
Oh, okay, I'll do it.
Whatever.
I've never done it either. I haven't done it.
Okay. Well, I think that make a great, especially if like it's just me and the honey going to the lodge, to the night safari, and then end our evening at Sanaa, have a couple nice cocktails.
That sounds awesome.
And the next day I'll be really hurting when it's time to go home.
Well, that is one of the issues with staying out too late in Disney after dark. I'm also a rope drop person, so I have to plan.
Right, as am I.
Right, and I have to plan my trips accordingly. I have to like plan it out. Okay, this is the night I'm going to go out. Therefore, the next day is not going to be one of my rope drop days. And vice versa. When I know I'm going to do a rope drop, I try to get at least some sleep beforehand.
Hi, Mom.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Are you calling? Are you answering in the cellar?
No, you're on the show right now. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, Mom.
Well, aloha. I did it again, didn't I?
Yep.
It's Sunday. It's 6-ish. I think I'll go now. Hi, everyone. Have a great show.
Say hi to all the listeners.
Hi, listeners from SoCal. Have a good one. Bye. Peace out.
Gee, your mom sounds so cool.
Cool.
I know your mom sounds delightful.
She's fun. We have a good time together.
Awesome.
I'm thinking about taking her to Disney World next time.
That sounds cool.
Well, that'd be great.
Yeah, she's only ever been to Disneyland, so I think it'd be fun to take and show her an entirely different Disney.
Was she a big Disney fan?
Not really. There was an incident on Space Mountain like 25 years ago that ruined it for her. So I think if I take her to one she's never been to, she'll have a great time.
Right.
Wow, this show has gone completely off the rails.
I'm sorry, Jay. It's going to take
You know what? I don't care if it takes me long to cut, as long as the passengers enjoy this one. And if you guys did enjoy this, please let us know, because we just want you to have a good time.
I think that they will enjoy it.
Anybody, George included, final thoughts on have a great evening in the parks when the sun goes down.
Last thing I would like to say is, has anyone ever done the campfires / s'mores? Those are always fun too. I always try to sneak in a s'more if I can.
Ooh, where's this?
They have them on a lot of the resorts. I'm not sure if all of them have them, but a lot of them have them. They'll just have little fires going.
Can I get a free s'more after my day at the park?
No, they're not free.
No, they're not free.
All right.
There's nothing free.
Come on, it's Disney.
Except that cup of water.
Yep.
Yeah. They're not free.
What about you, Carolyn? Any last thoughts for the passengers?
I don't really have any last thoughts, which doesn't really help. The best part for me about the evening is the lighter crowds and just the taking it all in, and where is that spot that you like to take it all in. And pretty much if I'm at Disney, I'm just pretty darn happy. I'm pretty content. So I'll take it all in at any of the locations.
I'm 100% with you there. Just being there makes me happy. And with that, you guys, I had a really, really good time tonight recording this.
I don't know how much of this show is going to be actually aired
in the show,
but for the listeners, there's a lot of laughing and stuff going on behind the scenes. So we'll see how this one ends up. But
like we said, there's lots of love every time we get together. We've had a really, really good time tonight.
We did.
Always a good time, guys.
And with that, Ken, take it away. Say goodnight, George.
Good night, passengers.
If you would like to keep the adventure going after the show, be sure to like our Facebook friends page, Grand Circle Tour Magical Ticket Holders. While on Facebook, like our group page, Grand Circle Tour. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Grand Circle Tour Podcast, as well as Instagram, GCT Podcast, and our YouTube channel, Grand Circle Tour. If you would like to send us a message, you can email us at gctpodcast@gmail.com. T-shirts and other fun merchandise can be found at tpublic.com. Simply search Grand Circle Tour Podcast. If you enjoyed your adventure, leave us a review on Apple Podcast. Only one rule, make it good. Thank you for riding with us, and welcome home.